Welcome everyone to Dicing with Death with Hob and Koibu, or Hobgoblin and Koibu, or I don't. You are you going with Hobgoblin as your handle these days?
I don't know. All of the above.
All of the above. Okay,
Yep.
Ryan's
Dicing.
just a really common name, so it's awkward. You
Yeah.
know,
It was a sad time to be named Ryan.
just.
Anyway. Well, so Balrog
You wake up
has
many
fallen
days later.
unconscious for like the fifth time this campaign,
Yes, but
and
you keep
hopefully Ferris came to the aid of his dragon and found this plaything bleeding
Ferris.
out.
You awaken, and you are surprisingly in a what seems to be some sort of underground chamber.
Is it a grape dungeon?
There are no grapes nearby. You are not chained to anything, but you are on a wooden table in the middle of the room. You notice there are some strange instruments and implements about you. You
Am
are
I wearing what I was wearing?
no. You have what looks to be like towels or blankets or something covering your lower body.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a cloth over your head, but you feel like like from your abdomen to your chest is open and exposed to naked to the world.
As in cut open or as in exposed to the world?
Like just like not with no clothes on.
Okay, so
Not
I'm
like you're
not. I'm not on
flayed.
an autopsy table.
You're not on an autopsy table.
All right, I take the cloth from my face and sit up. Are my things about?
You feel really woozy as you sit up. You look about and you see some of your stuff in a corner. You see Ferris
Mm-hmm.
nearby. He is holding something in his hands, and
Okay,
like
quick
he's at a
question.
table on the other side of the room.
Do our spells that I had memorized
They're gone.
before I fall okay, they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then I try and sit up and lean against the table
He goes,
until I
ah.
compose myself.
I mean, he hears you getting up. There's some groaning as you do so, and he
Mm-hmm.
turns and says, "Ah, the dwarf. You actually have survived."
I'm tougher to kill than that. Was
Apparently,
was
seems
that?
like my little pet had some trouble with you, and then opted not to eat you. Most peculiar. I had to poke
that
around and see what was going on behind here.
that was your plaything?
Yes, you did a number to it, but it shall survive.
I'm sorry. I can tend to its wounds if it's still.
No, he's strong enough to be on his own.
Do you mind?
Tell me, how do you feel?
Like shit?
He pulls out a book and says, really? Be honest, this is for posterity.
I feel like death.
Interesting
can-
choice of words.
We can get into details. Would you mind giving me an hour or so to tend to this? And I gesture to the bruises and the broken bones and
He bends over and picks up some cloth from the ground and tosses it towards you
Mhm.
and says, these should fit. They were mine when I was younger.
What is it?
It seems to be a black robe. Might be a little tight around the waist.
All right, I slide it over.
Okay.
Um,
You put on the robe. You are now
is
clothed.
my holy symbol still around my neck?
No.
Is there a pile of clothes or something?
Yeah, there's a pile of like your chainmail and clothes and maul and crap over in the corner.
I sit back up and find my holy symbol. Or
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, you hop off
Is
the
he-
table, walk over. It's there amongst all your other stuff.
I don't search, but it looks like all of my shit's here.
Yeah.
The bags and stuff just in a pile. Did it look
Yeah.
like I think the money bags are clearly in money bags. Did he?
Yeah, no, it looks like everything's there at first glance. You'd have to do some real searching to make sure, but first glance tells you everything's there.
Does he seem immersed in his book?
No, he's got his book out. He jotted some things down. Now he's just looking at you as you walk around and taking more notes.
I have some prayers to attend to. Do you mind?
I don't mind. No.
Could be a while. I get to my knees and do my business. And I will pray for 2 cause light, 1 cause moderate.
Okay, so that's 40 minutes of praying.
Yes. Yeah. On top, do I need to wait an hour to get spells back or no?
No. You don't. Your unconsciousness is the equivalent of your meditation.
Okay. All right. So once I've got that, I stand up. Is he still there?
He's still there. He was taking notes. Like, I mean, I guess you weren't really paying attention because you were immersed in prayer,
Yeah.
but you noticed that he's still there and looking at you inquisitively.
Okay.
Quizzically.
Okay. I put the holy symbol back around my neck, and
Hmm.
I approach him. See, these prayers I'm about to cast normally suck the life out of creatures, and I proceed to cast a Cure Moderate Wounds, failing for the first time all campaign. I
He
say,
looks at you as you do your spell and nothing happens.
I'm I'm a little rusty. Cure Light, passing. That's better. And I gain six
He looks
HP.
at you as your flesh closes over and disappears and goes, interesting. And you say these are what sorts of spells? Ones that normally
I have
you'd say they're
found
tied to the negative material plane then.
exactly. Typically, I would
Interesting.
use these to wither the flesh of my foes. In my
I've never
current state, it does the opposite.
Interesting, most interesting.
I cast another. So nice. 13 HP total.
Now
So,
tell me, how long have you been like this?
um, hold on just a sec. Let me do math. I can't do math and roleplay at the same time. Uh, 18 down. Okay. I don't know. Time has ceased to mean what it used to. I
Decades?
no,
Centuries?
no. Although some indeed have. I came upon this curse in the pit. So maybe a month ago, I do not
Which
know.
pit?
The pit in the cooling sands. Is there another?
Ah, yes, yes, the cooling sands.
So
Interesting.
as soon as I came upon this curse, I began traveling north to the lower rift to seek answers. Others have accepted this fate, and they live down there indefinitely, awaiting.
Interesting.
So tell me, I assume you've been poking and prodding. What have you discovered?
I discovered that you are cold to the touch. Your heart beats and blood flows, but it does not behave like normal blood. It's interesting that you continued to weaken until I bound you. I would have expected a creature of your type to not be not be able to die.
I I don't know. I don't think, despite the beatings I've taken, I don't think I've ever truly died. My soul appears to be lost, misplaced on its way to Philumbra.
Do you think you would be able to, he pauses, curse another in the same way?
It's certainly conceivable, but
Do the means to for the curse to happen again, are they still around?
I smile knowingly. I do not fully understand the nature of my condition, but I
How
they
about
might. There are others, I say. I have a small army, and I smile.
I would pay most handsomely for a few members of your army, or perhaps for you to assist me in the cursing of my own. I have some servants who, let's say, are better off this way.
This may very well be possible. There is much investigation to be done, however. If you would assist me in lifting my own curse, I can certainly give you the aid of
Why
several
would
undead
you want it
minions.
to be removed? This seems like such a boon.
I am skeptical of that. I am cursed to walk in only the night. The sunlight burns me, distracts me. The touch of
Interesting.
the touch of some holy symbols and holy places also burns. And even some priests have power over me.
His face darkens. That is good to know.
I have resisted their will so far, and even brought my own sort of justice upon them, but the risk still stands.
Yeah, I still feel like I have some associates who would benefit from something like this. If I help you cure this curse, you will help me cast it, help me create it, help me weave it into my minions.
To the best of my knowledge, to the best of my abilities, yes. At the very least, I have. There are 60 like me awaiting my return. I destroyed their master, and now I suppose I am the new lord of the pit.
He strokes his beard. Or his chin, where he would have a beard. He's clean shaven. He is
See,
human.
he's human? Okay.
He's human. Well. Ponders for a moment.
You have never encountered anything like this in your readings?
I have certainly toyed with some of the undead, but I've never encountered anything like this before. This is different. This is not undead. This is not dead that has returned to life. This is something in between. This is half life, half death.
It is interesting.
This is life tied to the negative material plane. This is unusual. This is different.
Yes, and if I knew more about it, if I controlled it, I might embrace it, but this was cast upon me against my will. And I do not know how long it will last, and if I will lose control. The others have all but given up on their will to live, their all of the mortal desires and for power that makes life worth living.
Do you feel thirst? Do you feel hunger? Do you
No.
feel sleep?
No, no, and no.
But you can be
I do-
rendered unconscious.
Indeed, and I am fatigued. And I bleed, surprisingly.
How interesting. Well, I shall help you as best as I can to lift your curse, if only for my own edification and education. What clues have you as to how to lift the curse?
I know not. Typically, curses have a source, and if you can. Yes, best the source, kill the source, it's often lifted.
Where are you headed then?
I was heading to the lower rift, where perhaps some of the priests there could answer my questions. There are a few more bits of information, but all very cryptic. In the pit, there was an inscription below the vessel that cursed me, titled "To the victor goes the treasure," or something of the sort. And I did battle with a skeleton at that point, who I bested in the end, but I believe that was the incident that led to my curse. And I proceed to freely tell him of the events that transpired.
Okay, all right. You guys chat for a couple of hours. He has one of his servants come down and bring you guys some food and water, which he eats at and drinks of.
Is this a human?
Um,
Or
no, it's an elf. It's a small elven boy.
I mentioned that animals fear me, and I don't know. I probably would have mentioned the cursed gold and all of that, and the skeleton who is now dead, actually. So that's why I was worried that the curse may no longer be able to be imparted.
Okay.
If it was indeed the skeleton, or maybe it was the gold.
Let's see what. Yeah, here we go. Let me just take a look at this real quick. Nope. There we go. No, that's not what we're looking for. He walks up to you and says, "Would you mind if I cast one more spell upon you?"
More. There
One
have been
more.
others.
There have been.
I stand up
Swans.
and I present myself.
Okay, one sec. Okay. Page 22.
Detect undead or something?
No. Oh.
Wizards don't have a control undead spell, do they?
No.
Someone in the chat suggested that. I think priests might. No, I don't think there even is one. It's just a power in.
Okay. He casts. He gently rests his hand on your arm and chants a spell, and then looks at you and says, You seem to indeed be telling the truth about who you are and how you came about these things, as far as I can tell for now."
I have no need to lie. And I am an honest, law-abiding citizen.
I would say the Amulet of Melkus says otherwise.
It's not around my neck, by the way.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Oh, I say. That wasn't mine. I killed its owner.
Really?
In fact, he was the previous Lord of the Pit.
And you had a bunch of other amulets around your neck.
Yes. Do you want? I should send you a character sheet eventually.
Yeah.
They weren't around my neck. They were around my waist.
Okay. Well, I mean, what other things did you have?
Maul, chainmail, clothes, my own holy symbol, which I have now. Holy water, unholy water, bones. Okay, I had holy symbols of Raluna and Nerul and Malchus. That would have been around my waist, probably just dangling loosely.
Okay.
The holy symbol of Astaire, which burned me to touch, so it was wrapped up in silk and in my backpack. There was a book bag with some holy texts regarding Nerul and some other
But Malchus was the holy symbol you started with.
No.
Right? No.
You said it was vague. You said no. You said since I was general, it was just a.
Oh, you just had a
There's
general
an
holy
onyx
symbol.
skull on a red gemstone, which was presumably garnet or something of the sort.
Right. Okay.
So it's just a generic evil holy symbol. I do have a holy symbol of Malchus. Those are on my waist, but that was from the guy that I killed.
Right. And then he says, "Well, Malchus is not your god. What about this other one? I do not recognize it. The one with the skull."
It is my own. I pray to all gods, and all gods serve me.
Interesting. Well, how can I help you lift your curse? I would very much like to solidify this alliance of ours.
I do not know. When I bumped into you, I was on my way north to the temple at the end of the world. For answers. If you have knowledge in this tower, perhaps books that we may wish to study, we can start here. Otherwise, I suggest we continue north, or I continue north.
I have something that may be of use for you.
And what would that be?
Come with me, he says, and he leads the way upstairs.
I look to my stuff. I decide to leave it there and continue after him.
Okay. Hold on. I want to look at the critical hits table for the...
Oh, I'm slowed.
But what was the category of injury that caused your slowing?
I think it was struck in
There were
both cases.
It was struck in both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does it take to heal struck? Do you remember? I think it might actually just be like cure light wounds.
Yeah, I don't. My combat tactics on the other side of the room.
Okay, now I can figure it out. Struck. Yeah, it can be healed by cure light wounds or other healing magic. Okay,
Cast
so you're actually
specifically upon it, or just in general?
Just in general. Injured requires specific, I believe.
All right, and so I've cast 2 cure light wounds, so I'm
so you should be fine.
And I can jog at his movement speed, actually.
Wounds of the severity can trouble a character for weeks. Yeah. Yeah. You gain HP as well, so yes, you're fine. Um, okay, so he takes you upstairs, and you go up 6 floors, 2 floors until you're on the ground level, and then another 4 after that.
Is it just a tower with like a spiral staircase?
Um, it's a switchback staircase, but yeah,
Yeah.
you arrive at the top floor.
There are doors off to the side, I assume.
Many doors. It is a square tower, not a round tower. And when you get to this floor, there's still more stairs going up. He pulls you inside what seems to be some sort of laboratory.
Uh-huh.
You don't know what any of the other rooms contain. They were all sealed off by doors.
Yeah.
And he walks over to the table and rummages around in this crate, pushing things aside until he pulls out this rod. It's about yay long. It has a handle wrapped in what looks to be like snake skin or something. And the handle's about yay big, but the rest of it widens out. So instead of like the handle is normal handle thickness, and the rest of it is quite a bit thicker. And it's
So it
got
looks like a club or something like
it looks
that.
like some sort of club, and it has. It's hard to tell if they're metal or some sort of opaque and strangely colored crystals studded into the sides around it in a couple of spirals around it. He twirls it in his hands and says, "You may find this helpful on your way."
That looks like a fun toy. I grab the handle.
And he holds on to the end as you grab the handle and says, "But by accepting this, you promise to come back and find me and help me with the curse."
Absolutely. At the very least, you will have a few undead minions at your command. If all works out well, as many as you would like to curse.
I will know if you break our promise. I will be able to find you wherever you are.
I expect as much.
Excellent. Well then, he lets go, hands it to you. Take this with you, and enjoy your safe travels. I shall try and meet you at the lower rift if I can, but who knows? The world is so full of dangers.
Indeed. I'm sorry about your pet.
My pet shall recover in time. It must learn to take a good beating if it is to be useful in the future. Its sister has already failed me permanently.
Alrighty then.
All right.
So I will head back downstairs and collect my things then.
Okay.
Is it all there?
Yeah, all your stuff is there,
Including the money,
including the money. He didn't take
Worth.
anything.
the bone with gems in it, the
Took nothing.
casting component.
You do get the impression that all your stuff has been searched through completely, though. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
This item that I just gained is a club, I assume.
It is a club.
All seems pretty normal other than the description you gave. So it's basically like a studded club. Okay.
I guess stud club should do more than a standard club, so I'll give it D6 plus.
There is like a war club or something, isn't there? It's like, dude.
Yeah, but I think a war club is just a really big. Oh no, that's a great club. They do separate them, don't they? Let's see what the difference is between club and war club.
I think the war club does piercing damage, though, in addition. You said these are studs, not necessarily.
War is bludgeoning slashing. And it does D6 plus 1. Yeah, okay. So we'll consider this a war club, but the weight is still is 4 instead of 3.
Okay. Let me do some bookkeeping.
Rod, club, they're all pretty much the same psycho kraut.
What's that?
Someone in chat says, "Isn't it a rod?" I mean, what is a club other than a thing to beat someone with? A club could be a rod, it could be a chair, it could be a great many things.
40, 50. 6. Okay. I am going to leave behind my books. Was he watching me as I'm getting my stuff ready?
Mm-hmm.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I say it appears I am overburdened. Consider these a gift, and I hand him the books I'd been carrying around.
Okay. Which books were you carrying around?
I had stolen them from the priest, so they were religious texts on Nerul,
Mm.
and I think that there were other books. I don't know. It was a couple of books weighing 10 pounds total.
Okay. He looks them over and says, "Ah,
I shrug.
I have a library."
Priestly babble, but add them to your collection.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will depart.
Okay. You depart. Okay. Where are you now?
So Solemn, you said, is at 5, so you want to wrap up by 4.
By 4 and change, whatever. We took a long break in there. We can go till 4:20 or 4:10 or 4:15 or whatever.
All right. What time of day is it as I step outside?
You step outside, and it is mid-afternoon, maybe late afternoon. You're in a heavily forested area, but you are also completely surrounded by this black mist, which you also notice did not go inside the tower at any point.
Interesting.
So, the sunlight does pierce through the mist, but it's all quite dark out. You can only judge the time of day by where the sun is in the sky. The light is dim enough, and through the mist, you actually suffer no ill effects at this point.
Okay. Other than the decreased vision distance.
Yeah, decreased vision, but you don't get combat penalties for daylight in this mist.
Can I tell where on the lake I am?
Yeah, well,
Like, am I on the shore of the lake? I mean, I guess, yeah.
yeah. The tower is built right next to the shore of the lake. You can hear the water lapping, and after you walk around the tower a bit, you find the lake shore, and you see the sun in the sky is kind of down a little bit, or it's right around here. So you have a vague idea of where you are, and a vague idea of east.
So I will head west, I assume. I'm assuming the north. So I'm going to head west. I assume the lake is at my north. Is that my right? Or,
I mean,
if that's wrong, then I'm going to be on a weird...
Right, I mean, you're not really sure.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you have to make your best call, so...
I mean, I'm going to try and head what I think is pretty much west, along the shore of the lake.
Okay.
Do I appear to be, after an hour or so, does it seem like I'm following the sun as it sets? Or as it crosses the sky?
You head a little bit northernly.
Yeah, okay.
So you adjust as you go. I take it you walk through the night?
I walk through the night, and I stay along the shore of the lake.
Okay.
And sort of circle around the lake.
Okay. Alright. You encounter no dragons. Or other creatures for that matter. Wow. And some days later, you stumble upon a road. Or some day and night shift later. It actually takes a little bit of a while. And eventually you pop out onto a road.
Okay. I will have memorized some spells at some point. Let's do a cause light wounds, cause fear, 2nd level. Let's go with aid. Beefcake. How many days have passed? So actually, I would have cast cure healing on myself.
Two spell cycles.
Okay, so let's do the first one, all healing, and see how that goes. So for the cure moderate, is a pass. It's D10 plus 1, correct? 6. Cure light is a pass. 4. Another cure light is a pass. 7. So it's 13 plus 6, 17.
You mean cause light, right?
Yeah, cause.
Okay, good.
All right, so that's 17, and then how much HP would I have gained passively? One, two,
2.
two. All right, I'm full. All right, and then so on the second spell cycle, I memorize cause light, cause fear, aid.
Okay.
Sent for reference or posterity or whatever. And okay, so you said a few days later.
Yeah, a few days later, you hop onto a road that runs southwest by northeast.
Southwest by northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will actually. So hold on a sec. So I circled the lake, and then as soon as I was heading due north, I kept going due north. Is that what I did when I departed the lake?
No, you're not sure where you are.
But I had the lake at my right for a long period of time,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then I departed the lake heading due north.
I thought you said you were going west. You said that you tried to follow
Along
the
the
sun.
lake shore. No,
Yeah.
I said I followed the lake shore,
Right.
and eventually I would have left the lake shore. But I was
I'm sorry. I thought you said you were
northish.
trying to head due west. That was my impression.
No, I was trying to find west. No, my description was I was heading. I kept the lake shore at my right.
Okay, so you're just circling the lake then.
Yes.
At what point do you depart the lake?
I was going to try to depart the lake as soon as I could break free due north.
Oh, okay.
But I was trying to circle the lake and then continue on north.
Oh.
Sorry for the confusion. Maybe I definitely said I keep the lake at my right.
Right. But I thought that's because you thought you were at the south side of the lake and you were trying to keep the lake on your right until you could head due west.
I did assume I was at the south side of the lake.
Okay. Miscommunication. Whatever.
Yeah.
You.
So I was trying to figure out when I departed the lake.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, you're still on a road that goes southwest by northeast, so doesn't matter.
Okay. I will travel along the road northeast
Okay.
and see if I.
You travel for the better part of a day when you come upon a town.
Okay. I'll stroll into town then.
Okay. It is nighttime now. The town, as always, is unwalled. This town does not even have a town guard out to keep watch. So you kind of just walk right on in, and you see a pair of people sleeping out on the street in the night.
Homeless people?
Yeah, they look homeless. There's some lights on in one of the a building that was probably an inn or something. There's no sign out front, but there is a bird on the sign has no words, but there is a bird on the sign with oversized feathers and a very large beak.
Is it a tavern?
It looks like a tavern.
I walk inside then.
Okay. There are people chatting, but there's not very many. It's probably pretty late at night now, but again, your concept of time is really fucked up these days. You sometimes have a hard time judging how long things have been. And as you walk in, they kind of look to you, kind of nod, and go back to their business, just chatting with each other. The innkeeper seems to be awake, but kind of hardly awake, and just like
Is he the only one on duty?
yeah. Aside from the people chatting, who look like patrons. He sees you coming and goes, "Hey there, what can I get for you? A room, a glass of warm ale, some something to put in your belly."
I'm all right. I'm all right. I slap a gold on the table and I say, "How about a round for the house?" What town is this?
This is Laxton. Where the hell do you think you are?
Not too sure these days.
My God, what have you had to drink? And where can I get some of that?
South, I say. The drinks are strong in the South.
Yeah. Well,
Um, do you... No, never mind. So I just rest myself for a few minutes. I bought it, yeah. I laid down that gold and set a drink for everyone, but
okay.
unless he sticks around and talks to me, that's
No,
probably
I
not.
mean he pours. You said a drink for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pours drinks for everyone, including you.
I politely try it, but it's pretty unappetizing, I assume.
Um, you feel wet on your mouth, but you actually don't taste it. It just
Hmm.
feels like wetness on your mouth.
Yeah. So I probably take a few sips and don't even finish it.
Yeah. Um, are you getting a room for the night as well, or just drinks?
Unless I'm feeling particularly wary, I'll probably leave after a few minutes.
I mean, you feel tired as if you've been running for 4 days through the forest, which is
Okay. So I'll get an in room.
yeah okay.
How much is that rent?
Everything in total is a gold, drinks and room and whatnot.
Okay. Sure, whatever. I'd given him a gold to start with, so I assume he's just like, all
Yeah.
right, room.
Okay.
So I go to my room, take off my armor, stretch, rest,
Okay.
and then head out in the morning. Or whenever I feel like heading out, I guess.
Is that in the morning or is that at night?
As soon as I'm feeling rested and like my shoulders have recovered from jogging through the forest in
All right.
chainmail.
So I mean, you do some R&R. The sun comes up and you're feeling better around then.
Mm-hmm. All right, then I pull my shawl tight around my face and
Okay.
head off into the woods.
What direction?
Um, I think I will. I'll ask the bartender on my way out. So, if a man were heading to the temple at the end of the world,
The
would you
lower
have?
rift.
Indeed, I am a priest, a traveler. What do they call those guys that go on
Pilgrim.
a pilgrim? I am a pilgrim.
Well,
Is there anyone here who would know the way? Or do you just head north as far as north goes?
it's dangerous to head north through the forest. You could journey for years and not find where you're going. I'd recommend you find a solid scout or guide.
Is there one in this town?
No, you could head to Burson. I'm sure there's someone there that knows the way. Or maybe over to
Burson.
Riftwatch.
Where the hell's Burson?
It's Burson's to the east. I'm sorry, to the west. 4 or 5 days. Just keep heading west until you hit the fort, and then head north from there.
Is that better than Wristwatch? Riftwatch?
Oh, Riftwatch is a lot longer journey, but if you get to Riftwatch, I mean, hey, it's called Riftwatch for a reason. They know the way. They're there to guard the temple. It's the best path to the rift itself, but you can backdoor it through Burson, he says with a smile.
All right. All right. Thank you. It's a long way to Riftwatch.
Mm-hmm. It's a very long way.
All right, I'm going to go to Burson.
Okay.
So I guess I'll head southwest along the road. Jogging away.
All right. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get to Burson. If you just jog, which you can do because you're 19 con jogging proficiency undead.
Jogging and endurance and 19 con and undead.
Yes.
I could win some marathons if I wasn't speed 6.
Yeah. Well, you can win some endurance marathons, that's for sure. Okay. So your first day, you jog along. You get to this small town called Langton.
Cruise right on through would be my guess, unless
There's nothing interesting or exciting there whatsoever.
there's.
And you keep going. And on the second day, on your way to this next place, you're walking along the road and you see this pack of orcs. They are currently. You look like you're interrupting their lunch or something. I mean, even though it's nighttime, especially because it's nighttime, because orcs
Are they
are
on
fairly
the
nocturnal.
path?
Yeah, they're on the path. They've got a wagon that's still upright. It looks like the horses have been cut loose or taken away or something. The horses aren't there anymore. You notice the corpse of a child and a man scattered off to the side, and you see the orcs are feasting on something inside of the wagon.
How many orcs?
There look to
Rough
be
head
a
count.
half dozen.
All right. I make sure the new gem crusted club is loose and ready. I don't arm myself with it, but just make sure it's not going to get caught if I have to draw it.
Okay.
And I slow down to a walk as I approach the orcs.
They see you too, and one of them barks at the others, who all turn to look at you. You don't speak
I
Orcish.
speak Orcish.
All right. You hear the one barking say, "Hey, look at this bitch coming up the road."
I shout back, "Who you calling bitch?"
The others laugh at this, and the guy who called you a bitch kind of growls. What are you doing this way? And are you friend or foe? Says one.
I'll leave you to your meal if you don't harass me. Just a traveler. And
Well, then you must pay the road tax like all the other travelers.
See, my road tax will be your teeth. You can decide if you want to collect. And I pull my new club into my right hand.
I like his style.
It looks
Verkach! Go collect his teeth for me. And two of the orcs hop off the cart and pull out battle axes.
I wish to start casting a spell.
All right, roll initiative.
All right, I'm going to be casting aid, hopefully before battle starts. But
what's the casting time of aid?
I'm going to check. 5. So rolling initiative. Ouch. 11. Are they like charging into battle, or are they coming over to
I'm going to give you a bonus
tax?
to your, or I'll give them a penalty to their initiative because you were casting a spell just as they yelled. So you go first.
Okay. I gain the benefit of a blessed spell, plus 1d8 additional hit points. Okay.
All right. What's your?
Oh, sorry. Let me roll a spell failure. Passing.
And D8 for temporary HP. 2
temp HP, and I get plus 1 to hits. Okay.
Is that 1 to hit and AC, or just
1 to hit and saving throws, like a bless spell. Not 1 to AC.
Isn't bless just save versus fear?
Maybe you're right. The aid says plus 1 to attack rolls and saving throws, but I think it just says the benefits of a bless spell, and then in parentheses plus 1 to attack and saving throws.
Yeah, bless is just fear, and you plus 1 to attack rolls. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so the two orcs come to engage you and roll to hit. One of them completely missing, the other clanking off of your chainmail.
Okay. All right. Next round, rolling initiative. Am I treating this like a regular club or like a war club?
Like a war club.
I don't have those stats.
It's D6 plus 1 for damage and D4
speed,
plus
though.
1. Same weapon speed as club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wielding it two-handed. 13 initiative.
Okay, one of the orcs goes first. He swings his battle axe at you, which narrowly misses you. But, I mean, yeah, it slices into your chainmail and you hear the sound of steel on steel, but your chainmail holds tight.
A lovely sound. Music to my ears. I go before the other one?
Yeah, you go before the second one.
13. Are they armored?
What is the standard orc equipment layout?
Resisting the urge to look in the monstrous manual?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the monstrous manual.
I said no. I said I was resisting the urge.
Oh.
It happened to be sitting right next to me saying, "Read me, read me."
looks like average orc armor is studded leather with a shield. These guys don't have a shield. So 13 is a hit.
Okay. So, for damage,
D6 plus 1.
+2 because I'm wielding it two-handed,
Okay.
and I have that proficiency, so 5 damage.
You sink you smash the orc in the chest with the club, and you hear some ribs cracking. He falls to the ground. You take another whack at him and just crush his head in, and he falls to the ground dead.
And there's a few teeth. And the other, was that the one who went first or second? I probably wasn't paying that much attention, so maybe.
That was the guy who went first.
So the other guy gets his attack.
Second guy takes a swing at you, and his battle axe just swings way over your head, wildly missing.
Ooh,
Initiative.
Initiative 5.
The orcs back. Yeah, you go first. The other orcs are cheering and say and yelling at him, and making fun of him for not being able to hit you.
11.
To hit.
Yeah.
That is a hit.
They're not armored. Nice.
No, he's wearing studded leather.
Do they get penalties in the dark? Oh, I should have realized that, but so make sure you add that to the damage as well. 7 damage.
What? You just club him straight hit him in like the nose, down to the sternum, and the jewels, the little studded jewels, it's like carved deep into his skin, and he topples backwards, dead.
To the rest of, there's only 4 orcs left, aren't there?
Yeah, the one that had sent them out laughed and said, "Ha ha! Well, you got the teeth. I guess your payment is made."
What does it look like was in the cart? Can I get an idea of?
They seem to be feasting on some sort of animal. Looks like roast pig or something.
Okay, so it was a food cart.
Yeah, definitely a food truck.
Okay.
At this point, you see a woman's hand reach over the side, and she pulls herself up, and you see a woman's face. She looks horror-stricken and terrified.
Where is she?
She's in the cart. It's a human female. She looks at you and mouths silently with her mouth, like, "Help, please." And at this point, one of the orcs just pushes her down back in the cart, and says more to you. "Well, I guess you've earned your passage. Get out of here."
You don't tell me what to do. And I turn around and continue walking on the path the way I was going.
Okay.
Resting my bloody club on my shoulder.
Okay. You continue. Where's our map? Our map's over here.
I continue jogging.
Cool. Pretty soon, a few hours later, you come to Fort Galax.
You said it's under construction?
Yep, it is currently under construction. You see a whole bunch of workers building this stone wall, a curtain wall, around this hilltop. There's a small town outside of that, like at the bottom of the hill, near a creek, which is unmarked on any map. Yeah.
Alrighty. I will circle around it. Are there any guards?
There are soldiers about, but they're not necessarily guards. They're overseeing and setting up camp. And
does the road pass through it yet in a reasonable way?
The road passes through the town. The fort is located on the hill outside of town.
Okay, so I pass through the town then. On the road.
It's not a problem to walk through.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. You continue on to Ashforth and then to Burson, I take it.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's see if you have any more encounters. Nope. You get to Burson eventually. Of course, you pass the occasional traveler here and there, and you rest a little bit here, rest a little bit there, but nothing else exciting until you get to Burson.
All right. I will walk on in. Is it walled?
Burson is not walled, no. It's a large city. It's not a huge city, but it is a large city. And yeah, the population in the tens of thousands pretty easily. A lot of two-story, three-story buildings, much wood, much stone being used here.
I would like to find a tavern.
You find many taverns. The first one you come
I
across is looks very dirty and
I do
very
not stop at the first. I
okay.
find the finest tavern in the town, or at least the second or third tavern I come to.
Well, which is it?
I don't have the patience to check all the Yelp reviews and go
Okay.
through all of the due diligence. So I try to find I don't know, a yeah, a nice tavern, but still one where you could get some
All right,
backdoor information.
you come across this fairly nice looking establishment. There's what do you call them? Crimson curtains that decorate the walls, so it's not just like bare stone walls, and fairly nice couches lying about. It's not a bar, it's a parlor downstairs, which is nicer seats, nicer atmosphere. There's a little fire going in the corner. This looks like a rather upscale joint where you probably have shop owners coming here instead of working men. So it's like a upper middle class bar or establishment.
Okay. All right. I will stroll on in. Do I see anyone that catches my eye? I don't know, a roguish character of ill repute,
Yeah.
perhaps a hunter or a ranger. If
Yep.
okay,
Um, there, there's a fast talking, quick-witted guy who seems to be telling stories that everyone's laughing at. Who just has that sly look about him.
does he seem like? Does it seem like I could get a word in with him without? I mean, if he's the center of attention, that doesn't
Yeah,
suit me at all.
he's in kind of a center of attention right now.
Okay. I'll leave him be. I'll actually ask the bartender then.
All right. You go up to the bartender who is polishing some mugs with a clean rag.
Okay. I pull out a gold coin and knock on the bar.
Yes, what can I do for you, sir?
Evening. I am looking to head northeast into the woods. Do you know of any hunters, rangers, woodsmen that you would recommend I contact? And I set the coin on the bar.
Depends. What sort of woodland activities are you looking for?
I need to scout a guide for a long journey, or maybe just some advice, depending.
Yeah. There are plenty of woodsmen that are familiar with the area. There's a couple of ex-scouts, some old rangers that used to work with the army from from Atrilla. Retired old soldiers.
Trilla, I say. I prefer someone with a little more discretion.
Well, I mean, these ranger types they abandoned their journeys, their loyalties there a long time ago.
Okay, okay.
They work for themselves now.
Do you have any names you could recommend, or
Yeah, there's a guy called Flatfoot. He's pretty good with this stuff. He doesn't ever come by here, but he's a friend of my cousin's. I can set up a meeting between the two of you if you'd like.
that'd be great?
Yeah.
Here, or does he have an establishment?
Um, why don't you meet me here tomorrow night, and I'll let you know how the meeting is set up.
All right.
And he reaches for the coin.
Okay. I put a second down next to it. And I say, I'll have a room here for the night then.
Okay. He takes the 2 coins and says, "The room will be 2 gold."
Does he say that expectantly, like he wants more, or like
He says the room will be 2 gold, and then he kind of looks at you for a moment, and then just holds the coins,
and
then puts them in puts them in a bag,
okay.
and says,
I'm sorry. I'm sort of just. I'm assuming that he was suggesting that it would be 2 gold because I just handed him 2 gold, and he was just. I don't know. And so
There's a moment of awkwardness, and he says,
oh, two more.
"Yeah, for the
Sorry, I mean,
information and
two.
for the room."
Yeah. Sorry, misunderstood. So I handed him
Okay.
2 gold.
Yeah. You guys sit in awkwardness for another half moment. He's like, "Okay,
I
here's
go
the
up to the
key,"
room
and
as
he
soon as
hands you
I've
a
got
room with the key.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you go upstairs, and that's that. What do you do?
I wait. Nothing special. Kill time until I can meet with good old Flatfoot.
Okay. The next day, you go back down, or the next evening, I guess, because it'll take some time. There's nothing you want to do in the town that day.
I probably hide in my room all day. I will maybe stroll around at night if there is a night. So I showed up. What time did I show up?
You showed up in the early evening, sundown time.
Okay, so maybe that first night I would have strolled around a bit, and then spent the next day hiding out in the room.
Okay. Yeah. You go. So the next night you meet up with him at the inn. He says, "All right.
Was there anything interesting about the town, or
It's a large town. It's a large city. There's a lot of things happening. There's circus performers all over the place. There's entertainment. There's rich people. There's poor people. There's lots of things happening. It's a city.
okay?
It's interesting at all points in time. There's theater. There's thieves,
Boring.
merchants,
Okay,
political intrigue, assassinations. It's
that's
cool
for
shit
another
happening left, right, and
campaign.
center.
Balrog is not built for political intrigue.
No. So anyway, you meet up with the bartender again, and he says that Flatfoot will meet you over by the Green Barn outside of town on the northeast end.
The Green Barn outside of town on the northeast end.
Yeah, he gives you some directions to get there. Take
Alright.
this street for 6 blocks, and then go along this path. You'll notice the blah 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 blah.
All right, I thank him. Does he awkwardly look at me like he's expecting more money again?
No.
Okay.
He gives you a
All right.
nod
All right, I
and asks
leave.
for your key back.
Yeah, I give him the key. Leave town.
Okay.
Follow the directions. Go to the barn, the Green Barn outside of town.
You find this green barn, and as you approach it, you notice that there is a figure clad in green and brown, a green and brown cloak. Like it's green with brown trimmings around the edge, and then the occasional markings of some brown threads were woven into the green threads as well. So it's
Okay.
not quite a camouflage cloak, but it's fairly primitive camouflage.
Okay.
And he's sitting there, leaning against the barn, leather boots that come up to his knees, a bow strung across his back with a quiver at his hip, and a longsword on his other hip.
All right, I approach. Does he seems to notice me? I assume.
Yeah. He looks at you and says, "You must be the dwarf that is looking for some scouting information."
Aye, my name is Balrog Blacksteel. And you're Flatfoot?
That's what they call me. So, where are you trying to go? What do you need to know?
I need to get to the lower rift.
It's not an easy journey.
I'm prepared for a tough road. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Would you be interested in going again? Or at the very least, can I buy some directions out of you?
I could take you there for the right price if you got the money.
What would that be?
Well, it's about a week and a half to get there, a week and a half to get back. I'd say that costs you, that's a pretty penny right there. I'd say 60 gold.
Very well.
All right.
Anything I should know? Or are we ready to
It'll be dangerous.
depart? I'm
But-
prepared. And
He looks at
Yeah.
you, he's like,
I'm wearing a
Chainmail,
suit of chainmail, yeah.
club, mall. I figure you can handle yourself. Just don't be afraid to get a little bit dirty.
That won't be a problem.
Good. We leave tonight. Do you have your supplies?
I'm good to go.
You need
I
food and water, he says.
don't worry about me. I toss him a sack with 30 gold in it. I don't know how that happened. That's the leftovers of the merchant's sack,
Okay.
not the cursed gold.
He shakes it and goes, "You sound a little
Yeah.
light."
I I shake my other pouch, which has quite a bit more in it, and I say, "Cash on delivery, or loot me if I die."
All right, one or the other. And you guys take off.
Okay.
And we will end our week here.
Yes,
Next week,
sounds good.
the adventures of Balrog and Flatfoot
On on the lack of road to
on
the
the
lower rift,
yeah.
wandering in the woods. Should be fun. Should be fun.
We'll see. You get another companion again, a temporary henchman, temporary hireling, I guess is what you call them.
Hireling, yes, not a henchman. So I only
In
get
this case, I'll let him give you adventure or instructions and whatnot, but I'll let you control him in combat.
should be fun. Do you want to roll a character sheet up, or will I?
Yeah, I'll give you a character sheet for him.
Okay. Or
Um,
whatever. All right, I don't necessarily need a character sheet, but
yeah, yeah.
combat's whatever.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Anything you want to say before we call it quits for today?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, fun as always. Watch Roleplay Solemn coming up in 40 minutes.
So it is. Ryan, you're getting good at this thing. You should replace me. You do a way better job of plugging my shows than I do.
That's what I'm here for. I don't have my own shit to plug.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in 40 minutes for Roleplay Solemn over on twitch.tv/itmejp.
Yeah, and to chat, I will post an updated Balrog character sheet sometime soon.
Yeah, there's some issues with that Mac version still.
Really?
Remember?
Well, we'll see what the.
Yeah, we'll try.
I think when I post it to. Oh, we'll see. I think when I post it to Dropbox, it's better. I don't know. We'll find
I
out.
don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
666 viewers.
Woo!